Welcome to the Energy Pipeline Podcast. My name is Josh Lowrey. We are coming to you live from the Heights Studio in the Upright Digital Studios and the Urban Offices in Houston, Texas. This is during CERAWeek 2026, and I am joined today with President and CEO of the American Gas Association, Karen Harbert. See, you're from DC. I'm from Houston. I wanted to call you A-Bear there for a minute.
I was going to say, if I was from Louisiana,
Yes.
you could get away with that.
And there's a lot of A-Bears down here in the Houston area, but not A-Bear, Harbert.
Correct.
We should throw a little A-Bear in there.
There you go.
Have you come to Houston very often?
I went to school here.
See, look at this.
I went to Rice.
Oh.
I'm local.
That's right. Were you called A-Bear back in your Rice days?
I was not. But
No?
I tell you, when I got here in August, I thought it was a brilliant choice. In March, I came here.
The visit was perfect.
It was perfect. People were drinking margaritas. It was 73 degrees. I got here in August. It was like 110, and I was like, what have I done? It was like a blast furnace.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I moved from LA, and I used to wear...
I don't know whether it's an upgrade or a downgrade, but...
Well, I remember my taxes. I got it. It was
There you
a
go.
huge raise, and my salary hadn't changed. But
Okay.
but the heat, and I moved in like October.
Yeah.
And I was pretty blown away. So I feel your pain back then. But so we are in mid to late March right now. Late March, CERAWeek 2026.
It's nice out.
It's great. You're going to enjoy your week here. But it's not as great as DC. We were talking off air. Peak cherry blossom season.
Yeah.
That's
it is beautiful.
If you've never done that, you should go do that. If you've never been to DC to see what that is one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen. It was a gift. Was that the gift from the Japanese? Yeah.
Yep.
Look at me. I remember my 8th grade
trip.
trip.
You remember your 8th grade trip. They're all there right now, and I'm glad I'm here because right now with peak cherry blossoms, everybody on their civics trip, we have the most pedestrian accidents of any time during the year is right now. So,
Well,
just be situationally aware.
Situationally, that is a story of life, isn't it? Just be aware of life, Well, all right. So you're here for CERAWeek, which is, I've heard it called the Davos of Energy, which I like that. I actually like that title quite a bit. What are you, before we get into, well, let's actually start with who you are and what you do.
Yes.
All right. The American Gas Association. Why don't you tell everybody what that is real quick, and then we'll talk about how that plays into CERAWeek.
Sure. So we are the trade association for all natural gas utilities. So if you get natural gas in your home, if you cook with it, you dry with it, you heat with it, that's coming from our members. So 96% of all the molecules in the country are delivered by our members. So we touch all 50 states, every community in America, and we're quite proud of what we do.
That is, you kind of blew past that pretty quickly. That is not nothing.
It is not
That is
nothing.
a substantial organization.
We employ a lot of people. We improve people's lives. So for your listeners, if you are cooking with gas, you're getting it from one of our members. And our companies and our member companies live and work in the communities in which they serve. So they've got to see their neighbors,
Which is every community.
in the grocery store, at the pharmacy, whatever. So they take their responsibility pretty seriously to be good to their neighbors.
I'm just kind of reading some notes that we went through here. 200 local energy companies that deliver 187 million Americans. I'm surprised it's not more than that.
Well, if you think about it, just for context, that's more people than voted in either of the last 2 presidential elections. So, I'm from D.C., so I got to put a little political lens on this, right? So, that's a significant amount of people.
She's a pro.
And almost 6 million businesses. Now, what's even more impressive to that is that we had a customer every minute of every day.
Okay.
And we had 60
See, these are the
businesses
numbers
every
that
day.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. We're growing, investing.
Yes.
So the next time I'm invited back to be on your podcast,
Yes, so
maybe
far,
I'll
so
be
good, by the way.
like over 200 million people.
Okay.
So we're on the upswing.
Okay, I would imagine you are. In Houston, it hasn't changed much since you went to school. It was oil and gas, or oil primarily back. And I say back, you look like you just got out of school. So a lot of oil, but now it's oil and gas.
Right.
And gas is the hot item. Everyone's talking about it. They're talking about it locally for the things you talk about, but at the same time, it is the product du jour for manufacturing, for
Sure is.
AI. We're going to go into all this stuff. I can just imagine that you're going to go to CERAWeek and everyone's going to want to talk to you about what's going on, the member companies, how are they expanding? What are their thoughts? Are those the types of calls you're getting today?
We absolutely are. I mean, we're back in the cool kids club, right?
Exactly. By the way.
So that wasn't the case a couple of years ago,
Correct.
right? When folks were trying to put us out of business, and why are we going to build any more pipelines because you're not going to be here in 10 years, and of course now we're going to be here.
How
in
long
10,
have you
20?
been with the organization?
6 years.
Okay.
So I've seen it in its best days, which is right now. I've seen it in its very challenging days.
Which was your probably first year, I would imagine. You came in at a rough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to your point about, when I used to be here at university, actually that's when the oil market collapsed.
Okay.
Houston was a pretty scary place back in the, in the early 80s when the market crashed. And of course, we were running out of oil. We didn't know we had more natural gas. Things were very bleak. We were dependent on Middle East for our supplies, and fast forward to today, we're the largest producer of oil and natural gas in the world. We export more. Right. So what a change of fate in terms of our energy future.
Oh, it's an unbelievable change of fate, really. So, how did you find rice from DC?
Well, I didn't want to go to school in D.C. because it was way too close to home. Okay. And as I said, when I visited, I went to a place in Pennsylvania. It was cold and dirty. I went to Northwestern in Chicago, and it was like -20.
It's still cold.
And then I came to Rice, and they were drinking margaritas on the lawn, and I was like, "This is for me."
Get you?
But I know.
Did they
I know.
you?
They totally got me.
Oh.
But I had a great education here. It was a great time to be here and watching. And that's really what sparked my interest in the energy world, which was to see how our economy was so fragile and so frail back then. And now, of course, we're in a very different position.
Okay. This is going to be an easy interview, actually, now that I think. It really is, because your topic is, or your product in your organization is, it really is the hottest thing out there. And, I saw back to Peyton, the producer of the show, making fun of me. I asked, did anybody watch 60 Minutes last night? She made fun of me because, did you see 60 Minutes last night?
I can't stay up that late. No, I'm kidding.
Well, they were talking about how many ships America is building, and LNG ships, et cetera. We're not building enough. This is the short version, or the short answer to how many ships. But, they're talking about just building LNG ships to supply our own internal needs around the U.S. and how do we get from one area to the other? And they would love to be able to ship LNG.
We don't have a U.S. flag LNG tanker. It's a head scratcher.
Yes.
We also don't have any icebreakers. We're building icebreakers for the first time in decades and decades.
Probably in Korea.
Actually, they're building a couple there, but then they're going to be doing it in Alabama.
Okay,
so they're bringing it home.
I like it. Toby Rice, I imagine, is one
EQT?
One of your big. But got to be one of your biggest fans out there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He is a very great voice for the industry. We love talking to him all the time. I think he's doing. Toby is a young go-getter, loves the industry, speaks proud about gas, and honestly, he's from Pennsylvania. He's from that area, and there are so many people in that. We're from Texas, so Texas is just massive. But how many people are just in the world of which that area serves? Yeah. Texas just doesn't have any idea how many people are right in that square mileage.
In the Marcellus.
Yes, just in the Marcellus.
Well, he has an amazing message, too. We say the same things, but he's such a compelling figure to be able to deliver the message about lifting the world out of energy poverty. Who's not to be proud of helping people overcome their challenges, whether it's in sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia. We certainly overcame our energy poverty in the United States.
Correct.
Started with wood, then it went to coal, then it went to gas, and now we're going to be in gas for a very, very long time. But to be able to use our molecules to help people get out of poverty is just so powerful.
Have you ever spoken to Alex Epstein?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't he great on how he presents that message?
Yes.
It really is. You think about, you're calling it poverty, which is correct, but it is an amazing thing where you don't have to walk, send your family 4 miles each way for clean water. It's just an amazing thing we take for granted.
Well, here's another interesting angle to it. The fertilizer industry used to be in the Middle East, and that neighborhood got a little tough, so they moved to Europe. Well, energy prices went up in Europe astronomically because of bad policy decisions, so the fertilizer industry came here to the Gulf. And we're the number 2 producer of fertilizer. Why is that important? Why do we care? Well, we're going to add 2 billion people to this planet between now and 2050. The one thing we know is those people are going to eat. And we need to be able to produce clean fertilizer, which we do, and help to have the agricultural industry around the world produce more nutritious food for those new 2 billion people.
Look at these. Caitlin prepared my notes. These notes are phenomenal. What do you want to talk about? There's so much to talk about. I mean, do you have an endless amount of subjects that you can just, when you sit down at dinner parties, really, when somebody wants to, you're not dealing with the same dinner parties today that you were 6 years ago.
No.
It is an amazing.
Although nobody really wants to talk energy wonkiness, but
really?
I can all day long through dessert.
I feel like this is something, well, maybe they should.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they understand how many things it actually touches.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, we've gotten complacent about our energy IQ because because
the lights always come on.
The lights always go on, and when they don't, that's when you hear about it, right? Or your house is warm, and now, of course, your house is cold. Here in Houston, I mean, natural gas supplies 40% of all the fuel for electricity. So when it gets really hot, you're really glad your air conditioner goes on, and the likelihood here in Texas that it's fueled by natural gas is pretty high.
Correct. I mean, mine is.
Yeah. So I don't want to say we're omnipresent, but we touch a lot of corners, just like Caterpillar, right? I mean, everything from fertilizer to fuel to keeping you cool to helping you cook your food to fueling the economy of the future. I mean, I know we're going to talk about data centers, AI, but that's all going to come back to natural gas.
Caterpillar, did you hear what kind of professional she is right there? Just kind of slip that in. That was unsolicited. She knows what she's doing here. You enjoy your job?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm an energy optimist. I mean, at my very core, because we're changing the world. I mean,
Absolutely.
we are. And it's not just in sub-Saharan Africa. It's in, here in the Heights. We're changing the world.
I've been in oil and gas for 25 years, and we're members of through my manufacturing business, we're through parts of other oil and gas organizations. And your role is tough. You're the CEO of these industry organizations is tough, right? You're keeping a lot of people happy at all times.
Trying.
I mean, truly, yeah. You've got your member companies, just the CEOs of these member companies. You've got your policy world is busy. I mean, you're trying to navigate through lots of different stakeholders is probably the best way to say it. What do you hear from your different what's the mutual thing that you hear kind of that flows between those 3 different stakeholders: member companies, policy, and then what needs to be done?
Well, and energy is one of those issues that the pendulum swings, right, left to right, left to right. But what you're seeing now is it's really centering because it is so central to everybody's existence and our future. And what we're going to talk about at CERAWeek is about energy practicality, energy realism. It's really nice to say we're going to be, all solar and wind all the time. And actually the practical reality has crept in is that we can't do it. It's not that they're bad.
Exactly. All of the above.
We need all of the above.
Correct.
And so I think you're seeing just a practical reality conversation. I mean, even for those states and governors that have the most progressive policies, California, New York, Massachusetts, the leadership in those states has started to recognize that the decisions that they have made and the trajectory they've put their states on is actually hitting people where they don't want to be hit, which is their pocketbook.
Correct.
So being able to actually embrace the future of natural gas in places like in New York, Massachusetts, even California.
Before we move on to the AI subject, which is, you want to talk about being annoying at dinner parties. This is who I've become. Are you working with all 50 states yourself? I know you're in all 50 states, but are you personally kind of traveling to these places and meeting with the Newsoms of the world? And
absolutely. We'll go anywhere, talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Hawaii yet, but I'm working on it. Hawaii gas is out there, but for some reason they haven't invited us up there yet. But I've been to Alaska.
Okay.
No, I do. I mean, for energy and particularly in natural gas, I mean, certainly there's a federal lens. That's why our trade association is in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
But we have to deal with every one of the 50 states because they are in charge of a lot of what we do.
Absolutely.
Our state regulators, the ability to be able to build pipelines within the state of Texas. That's a state policy. That's a state decision. That's not something that's going to happen, at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
I guess this is my oil and gas just world but I feel like I have a harder world to navigate because of manufacturing restrictions than you would. I feel like everybody should be on your team.
Oh, I would. Everybody's welcome.
But
Come
are they
on,
not?
Come all.
Are they not? Like, for instance, I hate to beat up on California. By the way, California, great listener. We've got great listenership out there. So thanks. Keep listening, California. But would California not be they've got to be an ally. This is a good thing for them, is gas. This is clean. It burns right. I used to live there when the brownouts happened.
Yeah.
They were having to turn on turbines in Nevada for their power.
Well, I mean, places like California, places like the Northeast, and we just came through some pretty challenging winter weather, right? I mean, we had Storm Fern, where we had 10 days of sub-zero temperatures. By the way, we didn't lose a natural gas customer, but in those challenging times, the Northeast, which has restricted the build out of gas infrastructure, they're turning on heating oil. Now, you want to talk about an environmentally unfriendly source.
I understand it. So that's where your problems come from, is more infrastructure build for nat gas.
Correct.
They do understand the benefits, but there's still restrictions on.
Still restrictions. Even in California, I mean, and places like New York as well. I mean, they're building this infrastructure out quietly at 3 a.m.
Yes.
With no, media present. So the practical reality, as we just talked about, is creeping in that they're going to need this for quite some time. They may not produce it there, but they're going to be importing it.
Well, let me tell you what I think is our biggest ally is AI.
Okay.
I think AI is, if oil and gas, if the energy company said, this is the best thing of all time, you should do it, they're going to be like, I don't think so. If a 16-year-old girl says, I want to post every single video and I don't want any disruptions, and oh, by the way, so do all my friends, and if you don't, we're going to yell at you, and we're going to put up, we're going to start a campaign against you. They're impossible to say no to. I have a 13-year-old daughter. I can't tell her no. And
she wouldn't listen anyway, just so you
by
know.
the way, I don't want. That's a whole other subject. I can't tell if she likes me or not right now. Don't answer that, Peyton. So I do believe that the social media and the Metas, the AI, or the AWSs of the world, and all these AI companies, they're actually helping us, because their need and their desire to hyperscale is, they're just like, we need it, and they're just pushing this thing through at levels that I've never seen before.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, the tech world and the energy world never used to talk to one another.
Correct.
I mean, they were inconvenient partners, right?
That's a great way to say it.
But now we're essential to one another. So, AI is helping us be more efficient. We're helping them actually realize the dreams of your 13-year-old. And we're actually changing the entire way that the economy functions with advanced manufacturing and all the things. We've got to win the AI race. I mean, let's be clear. I mean, we're in a very geopolitically challenging time right now with Iran, but really you can't take the eye off the prize, which is to beat China at this AI race.
Karen,
and that's going to take
good at what you do.
Energy.
You are very good at what you do. I'm telling you.
I work at it every day.
I mean, you're good. I like it. All right, so why do we have to win? I know why we have to win. What are you telling this? I feel like you have a stump speech on this.
Well, I mean, there's the national security imperative.
Okay.
We can't be number two to China. We can't be number two to anybody.
Get it.
There's the economic security angle as well. We want to be able to have the quality of life that we enjoy, and we want to help other people have that type of quality of life. So those two principles are just inextricably intertwined, and that all comes back to that third pillar, which is energy security. So if you have energy security, you will have economic security, and you will have national security. We have ignored the energy security angle for far too long.
Karen, the only thing you do when you stop talking is I'm actually listening to you.
Good. So at least somebody is. My kids don't.
The problem is I'm not really prepping my next question. I'm listening, and I'm like, shit, she's on it. So like, oh wait, I forgot I'm interviewing. I can't just listen. All right, so I agree with that. We've ignored it, but this is what you're talking about. Well, that's the bigger problem. We've outsourced everything for so long.
Yeah.
We were talking about the ships earlier. We outsourced those 30 years ago. We've outsourced everything 30 years ago. So now we're trying to bring it back. The data centers, I mean, it does come back to, how do you tell the story that we need infrastructure people to talk to what's the word? ERCOT is what I'm thinking about, but not industrials. What's the word I'm looking for, Karen? The government
the transmission
Yes,
organizations, RTOs.
Why is this word eluding my brain right now? I've had a weird morning. We'll come back to that. It's ultimately everybody has to start talking to each other.
Yeah.
Is a week like CERAWeek where people do that? Like, how do you get everybody in the same room?
Well, they can't fit all in the same room because there's like 10,000 people there. So I think
there's so many stakeholders, or
there's so many stakeholders. They've come from all around the world. Dan Jorgen puts on an amazing conference.
It is, by the way, it is phenomenal.
It is, and this is, I think it's like my 25th CERAWeek. Week. I have to go and count that, but I think that's probably about right. And I've been here when things were, you could fit everybody in one room because oil was going away, gas was going away, we were unpopular. And now, I mean, the hotels are all sold out downtown
right.
Because of CERAWeek. And as I said, people come from all over the world, and they want to come here, not just because it's Houston and it's the energy capital of the world, although we could make the argument that maybe Pennsylvania is becoming the energy capital of the world right now, but because it is the United States, and we are so energy dominant, to use this administration's word, right? But we are an energy superpower, and they want to know how we did it, and they want to be able to emulate it in their own countries.
We've been doing a lot of work for one of our other companies in the Middle East. In fact, the week that the turmoil kind of turned on, we were on our way to open a new office actually in Abu Dhabi. We're still going to do it. We believe it's short term, and there's a lot of industry over there. The amount of data center effort going on in the Middle East to capture to be the provider for the European data center is just enormous.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, when you kind of go see what people are doing over there, they understand. They understand, man, this is the future. We've got to help. We've got to have it. That's what I meant by is everyone in the room talking. I guess you're right. They can't fit everyone in the same room. But I mean, the stakeholders, whether it be the infrastructure people, the gas pipeline people, the American Gas Association, et cetera, the Toby Rices of the world, are those people, I feel like they should be and probably are in line with each other.
And everybody's got a different angle, right? I mean, depending on, what part of what segment of the industry you're in, you're obviously, thinking about your own book. But the reality is that we are having a very different conversation. And it is about build, baby, build, right? Whether it's LNG export capacity. I mean, if you think about what happened with Russia and Ukraine, what's still going on, without American liquefied natural gas, the economy in Europe would have just cratered. We are now exporting more natural gas to Europe than we ever have in our nation's history. And we're building more capacity to even supply more. And that's a good story. Those are our allies. We should be supporting them.
This is a good lead into the next set of questions I was going to think about, is pricing.
Mm-hmm.
What does pricing do? I know it's gone up. Does it continue to go up? Obviously demand goes up.
Right.
Supply is still solid. Are we going to see significant price increases over the next 5 years?
No.
Really?
You heard it here first.
That's impressive.
Look, I mean, there's, swings in prices. I mean, today the price of natural gas is about $3. Mm-hmm. In Europe, it's approaching 20. So you think about that price differential, right?
I remember it was 9 here, and people lost their minds.
And remember, when it was $9 here, that was at the beginning of the Iraq War, so 2003. It was $9.
Is that what that was? My God.
Adjusted for inflation. But we were importing about 60% of our natural gas. Today, we're not. And so when you look at that $3 price tag right now, we're basically insulating the American consumer, the families, the businesses, your small business, from those price spikes because we are self-sufficient. We have plenty of supply, and we're keeping it affordable. We're keeping it reliable, obviously, and we're still exporting the most we ever have in our nation's history, and that will continue to expand, particularly in the next 10 years.
The exporting isn't an issue for pricing increases?
No. It's a demand signal. If you know there's going to be more opportunity to export, you're going to produce more. If you produce more, it's simple supply and demand, right? You're going to keep the prices low and within reach. Even during these storms that we've had this winter, we were basically insulated from the global price spikes that we saw all around the world.
Say that last part again.
So, like these storms that we just had, Fern
Right.
and others, you saw prices really spike for a long period of time around the world, and we were insulated from that. Did prices go up a little bit? Yes. Are they back down below where they were before the storm? Yes. It's a good story. It's a great story. I don't think people appreciate our energy advantage. Natural gas is our competitive advantage, full stop.
I agree completely. I think our only real problem is infrastructure.
Build, baby, build.
I know. How do we
We've
do
made
that?
it so, I mean, the last big pipeline to get built in this country took an act of Congress. Basically, the White House had to, nudge things along or kick them along. It shouldn't be that hard. So we need to modernize our
Well,
permitting
there was
system.
so much political,
Oh yeah,
protesting, et cetera, behind one pipeline. I mean, the one that got all the attention. Are we
whether it's an oil pipeline or I think you're thinking
I
of
am
Keystone
thinking of
X.
Keystone. That was oil. Okay.
Keystone, that was oil, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It's the same concept, which is why are we making it so hard? Which, by the way, if it's it's really hard, it's really burdensome. But at the end of the day, the people that pay the price for that, it's not the developer, it's not the financier, it's us.
Right.
Because we're making that infrastructure more expensive, and at the end of the day, somebody's going to pay that bill, and it's not
Us.
going to be. It's going to be us. So why are we doing it to ourselves? Why? Why can't we make it easier, more
Is that
affordable?
an education part for the average consumer?
It is. I think we're going to get there with this Congress because we have neutralized. Some people want to let's just do permitting reform for wind and solar. Let's just do permitting reform for oil and gas. No, we need permitting reform for everybody.
Right.
So, 10 years from now, I don't want to be, ripping pipe out of the ground because and same with wind and solar. They don't want to be, ripping their wires down when somebody goes out of favor. We need it all, and it's not a luxury good. This is central to everybody's everyday business.
You should be hosting the show.
I'll interview you.
I just couldn't agree with you more.
Good.
This is almost, we started one of these shows, the Energy Transition Show, 5 years ago, 2019, 2020. And solar and wind were the hot item out
Sure.
there. And gas was there, but really it was solar and wind. And what you learned was solar and wind are great. And they're great for what they are. But it doesn't always blow and it's not always sunny.
Right.
And there's a lot of tax breaks for that type of infrastructure. And you wonder what gas would do with those types of breaks. It would just take off and serve the entire United States. You mentioned in this Congress that we might get there. What type of policy acceptance policy? You're probably running into a more educated Congress than you've ever seen. They're younger. They're coming in. They've seen things before they haven't seen. They understand that their constituents don't want to pay high energy rates anymore.
Right.
What are you seeing from the people you're working with in Congress?
Well, one of the things you mentioned the words energy transition, and I'll just push back on you just a little bit right there.
Yeah.
Which is a transition has a beginning and an end.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
There is no end.
You're right.
So we talk about it as an energy evolution.
I would have said energy addition, by the way.
Addition.
Yeah, we've changed. I've transitioned to energy addition. Just
There you
so we're
go.
clear, yeah.
Where, we've been too long of energy subtraction. And taking opportunities and fuels off the table. So if we're in this
what do you
evolution,
call it, by the way? Evolution.
Evolution.
Okay.
So we've gone from wood to where we are today, and 3 decades from now we'll be maybe we'll even see fission or fusion. Maybe we'll see, but we have to continue to evolve and adapt to our current circumstances. And you're right, wind and solar have their place. But natural gas is what we have right now, which is abundant. We have well over 100 years supply of natural gas, and we haven't even looked some places. There's places off the coast of California, off the mid-Atlantic. We haven't even looked. So we're going to be continuing to have pleasant surprises in terms of more and more natural gas, and that's enabled by technology. So this AI revolution that we've just been talking about is producing more and more and more energy more efficiently. And more cleanly. Let's not forget about that.
You are
we
on
are
top
still trying to reduce emissions every day.
You were, again, back to my notes.
There you go.
I'm terrible at following, by the way. This is the next thing I wanted to talk about. I know we briefly touched on it, but I don't think anything we can talk about doesn't come back to the AI, the data center, and demand growth.
Mm-hmm.
this is what I was telling you. I'm annoying at dinner parties right now. Peptides and data centers is all I want to talk about.
Jeez. But we can't
That's
forget
incredible.
about. Well, I don't know that I'm coming to your dinner party, but we'll see.
Oh, they're fascinating. Just me
But
yelling at people
we
for an
don't-
hour and a half.
I don't want us to lose sight of the environment, right? I mean, we're all environmentalists. So,
Yes.
People think like you're in the oil and gas business, you're not an environmentalist. We all live on the same planet.
Correct. I have children.
And right.
That's
And
right.
so,
I like clean water.
we haven't strayed from our mission of reducing emissions. And the natural gas side of things, methane emissions are down 70% since 1990, and we're going to
That's a
get the
huge
next
number.
30. We're going to do it. And it's going to be because of technology. It's going to be because of AI, allowing us to continue to get more out of each molecule. So do more with less and reduce emissions.
You bring down, that's a great point, the methane. How have you guys addressed that within your organization? Are there committees that you have that the gas companies and gas people come together and say,
Yes.
Can you
And we,
expand upon that a little bit?
we swap stories, right? I mean, best practices.
Yeah.
How
awesome.
how are you doing in Oklahoma that might be appropriate for Oregon, or maybe it's not. But situational awareness of the different types of technologies that are allowing people to provide energy affordably, reliably, and increasingly with less emissions. And that's a priority for every one of our member companies.
Is there a story that you would share that is one of your favorite success stories of the AGA in the last 10, 15 years, 5 years?
Well, if you look back 10 years ago to today, if you had asked me that question 10 years ago, or if you had said, is this statement true or false? Are we going to be the largest producer of natural gas on the planet? I could have very well said no, or I hope so, but I don't know. And now here we are, right? And that's through just, rigorous pursuit of the right policies, the right regulations, and educating our customers, our stakeholders, to the point where, you even have the governor of Massachusetts, who was stridently anti-gas, have to come out and say, you know what, gas is going to be with us for quite some time, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. One time, when you keep saying our customers, are you talking about the consumer?
Yeah.
Really? So the AGA views a consumer as their customer.
Yes.
That is an interesting way to view it from a standpoint of a association.
So, I obviously have my member companies.
Sure.
So those 200 utilities.
The utilities, that's the word I was looking for earlier.
We've got those, but ultimately it's about service for the customer, right? Those 189 million Americans that rely on us every day. We got to do our job.
That's very cool to think of it like that. Like, we are here to serve the people.
You.
Don't ever forget that, right? That's a neat way to look at it.
Yeah.
Like, we're 200 people to serve 189 million.
Well, and let's not forget that these companies that deliver natural gas to your home, to your place of business, those employees live and work in those communities. So they take their job to service their neighbors, their friends, their family, their local businesses very seriously.
Right. They're environmentalists as well.
They're environmentalists as well, and they place safety first. Nobody ever wants to, have somebody not go home the way that they arrived at work.
Correct. Well, I've totally botched these notes. Your people here, how did I do? Give me a thumbs up. Then okay, they're giving me the thumbs up. Everyone's so organized these days. They're like, Josh, can you do this? You ought to hear Caterpillar yell at me after every interview. They're like, Josh, thanks for not paying any attention to our notes. You really did a great job. And I'm like, why do you send me 15 pages of notes?
Go Caterpillar.
Caterpillar, great. By the way, Caterpillar, phenomenal company. We really enjoying them. This is probably going to be one of our last interviews. Actually, this one went pretty well. I just can't read their notes. They're too good. Is there anything that I've left out by the way, you are really good at your job. I like this. This is, do you know Leslie Beyer by any chance?
I don't.
She was the CEO of, it used to be called Petroleum Equipment, then it was called Energy Workforce Council. Great organization. I have tremendous respect for Leslie. She went and worked for the government for a while, but I always felt like she had to keep 5,000 people happy at all times. And I mean that, like, your role is not easy. That's why I brought that up early in the interview. You have not only the 200 member companies, but apparently 187 million Americans that you have to keep happy. And I'm saying that tongue in cheek, but really, this is not an easy job. And people, I don't fully think that the average person listening understands what the CEO of an industry organization actually does. Like, it is It's not just lobbying. It is gathering lots of balls in the air and then gathering them, organizing them, putting it to like, let's build a strategy here that is the best for, as you mentioned, everybody has their own thing, that
their own
lens.
segment. Yeah.
Correct.
The other point that people don't quite appreciate is it takes a lot of money to make this system work. And that means raising capital. So I actually spend a good amount of my time on Wall Street, helping the investment community, the analysts,
Absolutely.
the bankers understand the value proposition of our industry, that we are, takes money to make money, but that we are a good and honest and transparent return on their investments. We're good long-term investments because those 189 million Americans that'll be 190, 192,
Yeah.
we're growing.
They're having children.
They're having children. And so we do spend a lot of time with the investment community. There's a lot here at CERAWeek.
Absolutely, there are.
And we'll be, certainly talking to them, helping them understand because we need more investment. We need more capital expenditures.
Well, just so you know, you've fallen into the right podcast. We founded this organization in 2019, this podcast media group in 2019, with a investment bank, one of the largest investment banks, actually the largest investment bank in oil and gas. And because of that, our listenership is heavily finance backed. So they're going to hear this.
Good.
And they will make sure that your message is passed to the people that needs to hear. You will be a returning guest. Do you come? You've 25th CERAWeek, so you'll be at 26th.
I absolutely will.
So let's get this on the books to make sure you're back next year. Is there anything that I've missed?
Well, I think just to your point about the investment community. So you've got
you just heard it. There's money guys listening.
So there's 3 rating agencies,
Okay.
right? There's Fitch, there's Moody's, there's S&P. S&P happens to be heavily dominated by CERA. But if you look at all 3 of those rating agencies and how they view natural gas utilities, our ratings continue to go up. And there's a reason for that, right? Which is
solid.
We're a solid investment. We're transparent. Come look under the kimono any day. And we have proved our mettle with the investment community, and we will continue to earn that opportunity every day.
What else can you ask for?
Right.
I mean, if you're putting money somewhere, what else are you asking for?
Exactly.
Right. Well, and I'm telling you, it's all contingent upon 13-year-olds making videos, and they're not going to stop.
Cat videos.
They're not going to stop. If my daughter's any, barometer, it's endless.
Well, she's going to be able to produce her videos, but at the same token, we're going to see the data centers. You look here in Texas, right? I mean, you have the energy center that is sitting right now getting built on top of the Permian to actually fuel data centers.
Correct.
So you've got a workforce out there, you've got a university out there, you've got land, you're not bothering anybody. Those data centers are huge.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, thank you very much. Truly, I wish you the best. I'm sure I'll see you down there. I'm going to head out there tomorrow. So
I'll be there.
I'll be looking for you. But good luck this week at CERAWeek. Karen Harbert, President CEO of American Gas. How can they get a hold of you? What's the website?
AGA.org.
Great, AGA.org.
Yeah, there's lots of very interesting statistics if you're a statistics person, but also some really compelling narratives of the actual employees and what they do every day to go above and beyond.
Videos as well.
Oh, we do.
YouTube, etc.
We do, and let's not forget that these gas utility workers at their very core are first responders. And so it's just such an honor to be able to be part of this industry and to see them, they don't just work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
They're still doing things 5 to 9, whether it's in their community, whether it's going above and beyond and saving somebody from a burning house. They are first responders because they are, unlike other parts of the industry that don't come into your house, our utility workers go into your house.
I could actually do another 30 minutes just on that. So back to why this podcast started. It started as one podcast, and because it was about manufacturing. And we were selling forgings. And really, nobody cares about a forging. It's metal. That's why I always go back to it's the best metal ever. But, okay, fine. That guy's metal's good. This guy's metal's good. Whatever. But really, it was the story behind the metal. Who is the person actually forging the steel? Who is the guy... what does the melt shop look like? How clean is it?
Yeah.
And when you started really digging behind, who are the people that make your steel? And you realize, like, this guy loves steel, and he's been doing it. I'm the 5th generation, and the stories that peel back behind there is a difference in the metal. And it's the care that goes into it. And you're like, well, my steel is better than that guy's steel because it's for these exact reasons. And what you're describing is that story. I always tell people, companies are nothing more than where people work.
That's right.
And it's how hard does that person work? How much do they care? Are they going to be up from 5 to 9, as you mentioned? That's a really great way of saying it. So I'm glad you've kind of put a data point that when the light goes on, the light goes on. But why does it go on?
Right. Who's behind it?
Who's behind it? And one person is Karen. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate
I really
it.
enjoyed it. It
Good
was
luck to
great.
you. Yeah.
See you downtown tomorrow.
I'll be in a suit. I'll look great.
All right.
Yes.
I won't.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Take care.
If you have any questions, look us up on all our social media channels. Caterpillar's website is fantastic, easily indexable for any of the videos that they have. We're going to put this one up in the next 2 weeks. Actually, this will probably go up pretty quickly. So, Karen Harbert, thank you so much.
Harbert.
Yeah, we're going to cage you up by the time you leave. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.